ReZero, Volume 3, Epilogue, Part 2, Talking About the Future. He thought back to the days he'd repeated over and over in his first week at Roswell Manor. Subaru had a place at the mansion with a good relationship with Ram and Rem. The children of the village had been saved, and the demon beasts in the forest had been wiped out, eliminating that danger. It was a grand adventure spanning some 20-odd days. Yes, it should have been cause for celebration, and if not for the girl using a finger to toy with her silver hair in a sullen mood as she laid into Subaru, it would have been. It's not that I'm upset. No, I'm not upset. All that happened was the patient I'd been nursing was gone when I woke up, and when I was going to go looking for him, I found out I'd been tied to the chair and left behind. No, I'm not upset about that at all. A flood of cold sweat poured down Subaru's brow as he silently listened to Emilia's rant. It had already been some 10 minutes since Emilia had come to the room, but most of that time had been chewed up by a mix of lecturing and venting. Her initial visit was out of concern for Subaru's condition. When she was certain he was fine, she'd sighed with relief and switched gears to leveling her complaints on the spot. That was Emilia's personality for you. I'm not upset. So... Yes, Emilia-tan, you're right to be upset with me. I'm very sorry. Sheesh, I said I wasn't upset. But since you apparently feel guilty, I have no choice. I will accept your apology, Subaru. Really, don't make me worry like that. After Subaru gave in to her pressure, Emilia accepted the apology and punctuated her last sentence with a broad, charming smile. It wasn't even remotely fair. How could she say things like that and make that kind of face at the same time? After he'd made up with Rem, the maid had left, and Emilia had taken her place. The moment she'd arrived, he'd largely expected how the rest would go, but now that her lecture was finished, the way there was nothing in her purple eyes but concern for Subaru made it really hard for him to calm down. I have to say, Subaru, you sure get hurt a lot. And the reason you got hurt was that you came to the mansion, too. I mean, it's only been 4 days. Hey, it's not like I want all these injuries. I guess you could say the world kinda has it out for me. So, if I can at least have Emilia-tan fawning over me, it's all good. I fawned over you plenty, and you just ran off. You can fend for yourself next time. Nah, I let my chance slip away. Damn it, if only Biku had done a bit of a better job. Subaru shouted in anger at the cold-hearted girl, having not seen a single trace of her curly hair since his recovery. Emilia pouted as Subaru's words made her remember how he'd left her behind. I told you. When I woke up after falling asleep in the chair I was tied up in, I was flabbergasted. No one uses flabbergasted anymore. Don't make light of it. Puck tried to keep me from going after both of you, too. I don't know what would have happened if Roswell hadn't come back. Understand? Faced with Emilia's tight-lipped anger, Subaru could only feel ashamed of himself. Just as he had imagined, Puck attempted to keep Emilia from putting herself in danger. Apparently, Beatrice had abandoned any thought of convincing her early on and moved straight to physical restraints. Having both of them impeding Emilia must have been pretty hard on her mental state. Subaru knew that was exactly how he'd feel if he'd been left behind like that. Even so, if he had to do it all over again, no doubt he had left Emilia behind once more. You saved me again, though. Eh? I said, you saved me again, even though the whole point of bringing you to the mansion was to thank you for saving me before. Thank you very much. Emilia put her hands together for emphasis as her face broke into a radiant smile. Subaru, bearing the full effect of it, finally felt something go plunk in his chest. That's fine, really. I just did it because I wanted to, and it's not like this has nothing to do with me, either. Yeah, that's right. I didn't. As he said it really sank in. That was what had fallen inside his chest. Having repeated events over some 20 days, Subaru had finally made it to the end. After having his heart broken and crushed so many times, his hand had finally reached that which he had long sought. He was finally able to register that feeling of, I did it. That's what you say, but it won't put my conscience at ease. I'm sure Ram, Rem, and Roswell are all grateful for you, too. That's so? Alright, let me take advantage and have my contract with Roschi amended so that Ram and Rem are my personal maids for a while. And then... Subaru put his hand over his mouth as he made a lewd laugh. He then swayed his body left and right as he drew closer to Emilia, thrusting a finger toward her, making her recoil ever so slightly. Am I gonna get an Emilia-tan reward too? Goodness, if I can afford it. If it's within my power, then... Wait, last time you asked me for my name. Do not underestimate my greed. This time I am a man unaffected by anything so weak. I am aroused by greed and avarice and a vortex of libido. Though he never even got up from the bed, Subaru posed, ferociously spreading his arms up at an angle. Perhaps seeing Subaru worked up to that degree made Emilia believe the subject couldn't be avoided. She sat down, properly facing him. As Emilia awaited the inevitable, Subaru browsed the Emilia reward list in his brain. He carefully went over options ranging from the bittersweet to nighttime adventures, selecting one. And so... All right, Emilia-tan. Let's go out on a date. He would redo the promise he'd made with Emilia so many days before. Date? It means we head out together, see the same things, eat the same food, share the same memories together. You're fine with that? I'm fine with that. How many hardships had Subaru gone through to go on his long-desired date with Emilia? Along the way, various other intentions had piled up with it as he leaped over one hurdle after another, but he'd finally cleared the last obstacle and reached his wish. Hence, the promise was a fitting way to tie all the loops together. I want to brag about you to the brats in the village, Emilia-tan. Plus, the flower bed's just awesome. To me, it'd be special just to have a casual stroll there together. I think your definition of greed is a bit different than for most people. Don't say that. My shamelessness will freeze that cute smile on your face yet. Oh yeah. Subaru's teeth glinted as he did a thumbs up and a wink. Yes, all right already. I'll go on a date with you. The promise having been made, Subaru clapped his hands together and exulted. Yes! And that's why EMF! Emilia-tan's majorly a fairy. Subaru, seeing Emilia sigh at his enthusiasm out of the corner of his eye, directed his hopes for a speedy physical recovery outside the window, toward the village where they would have their promised date. Visions of a glittering future danced when Subaru abruptly thought of the Demon Beast forest. The curses that inhabited his body had lost all their effectiveness. The Demon Beast had been eradicated, the end of a long chain of events, beginning with a single one slipping past the broken barrier. This time, matters had ended with one species wiping out the other. The events left a bitter aftertaste that he didn't fully understand. He remembered how he was in a daze as he thrust his sword into the Demon Beast's body. The memory was fresh, and the sensation of taking life lingered on his hands. He wondered if he'd forget that sensation someday. Surely the passage of time would make the ache in his chest subside. But until that day came, what could he do? Subaru? Yeah? He looked back when she called his name. He wondered what Emilia would think of the meaning behind Subaru's distant, absent-minded gaze. Emilia rose to her feet and opened the curtains. Light flooded into the room all at once. Emilia's silver hair was enveloped by vivid, dancing light that left him spellbound. Finally, as Subaru sat in silence, Emilia smiled at him out of the blue. When we go on the date, let's bring back a flower bouquet. Sure. Subaru covered his face with his palms. There was no winning against that smile. He thought, before the day came when he forgot, he ought to carve it into his chest so that he could not. He knew it was hypocritical and would only force the pain onto him, but he felt it was the right thing to do. He felt like Emilia's pretty smile was telling him so. So he did. Emilia and Subaru continued to spend time together with smiles on their faces. Having finally and truly reached it, the morning of the 5th day continued to gently smile down upon them. This part took way too long. Yeah, sometimes the situations don't align. Stuff's noise in the background. That being said, end of the epilogue. There is another intermission, which I'm still trying to figure out how to title, but you'll see that in a bit. I really do hope you've enjoyed this. I really like this. I really like the end of this arc. All the little moments, especially that thing with Rem in the first part of the epilogue. That I wish that was something that could have made it into the anime. I really do, because I really like that scene. I really like these slow scenes that you can't fit into anything else. That'll work in the book, but even the manga I doubt they'd work into. And it just goes so well, man. I love it. I'm so glad I am almost done with this. Not to complain. It feels good. I wanna get further into the series. The only thing about it is man, that's the most natural laugh ever. There's so many books that I have yet to get through. I've been thinking about starting a second side series as the Breaking No Game No Life. I've got to figure out what I want to do there. If you have any suggestions, hey, leave them below maybe. Not really sure. I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to this. Sorry this one was a bit shorter, but it would have been too long on the last one, in my opinion. And I want to have a bit of leeway on how I'm doing this. I hope you enjoyed, and I suppose I see you guys on the last part. Bye.